What makes a genius? Is it raw intellect, relentless curiosity, or an unbreakable spirit? Few figures in history embody all three as profoundly as Albert Einstein. But his journey to becoming the father of modern physics wasn't straightforward. It was filled with struggles, doubts, and an insatiable hunger for knowledge. Born on March 14, 1879, in the small town of Ulm, Germany, young Albert wasn't seen as exceptional. In fact, he was a quiet child who spoke late, leading some to believe he was intellectually slow. But what seemed like shyness was, in reality, deep contemplation. From an early age, he was fascinated by the mysteries of the world around him. When his father gave him a compass, he became obsessed with understanding invisible forces. How could the needle move without being touched? This single moment planted the seed of lifelong curiosity. Despite his brilliance, Einstein's school life was far from smooth. He found the rigid, authoritarian education system suffocating. Memorization and obedience were valued over imagination and exploration, two things that defined him. Teachers saw him as rebellious, uninterested, and even hopeless. One instructor even told him, "You will never amount to anything." At 16, he applied to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic Institute, but shockingly, he failed the entrance exam. His weakness? Non-mathematical subjects like languages and history. This setback didn't discourage him. He simply worked harder. The following year, he passed and was admitted, setting the stage for one of the greatest scientific minds the world had ever seen. Graduating in 1900, Einstein expected to step into a prestigious academic career. But fate had other plans. He couldn't secure a teaching position, his professors didn't think highly of him, and he had no notable recommendations. To support himself, he took a job as a patent clerk in Bern, Switzerland. For many, this might have seemed like a failure, but for Einstein, it was an opportunity. With fewer academic obligations, he had time to think. While reviewing patents on electrical devices, he pondered deeper questions about space, time, and energy. Then came 1905, a year that would go down in history as Einstein's miracle year, annus mirabilis. While still working as a patent clerk, he published four groundbreaking papers that changed physics forever. The photoelectric effect, proving that light could behave as both a wave and a particle, laying the foundation for quantum mechanics. Brownian motion, providing evidence for the existence of atoms. Special relativity, introducing the concept that time and space are relative, revolutionizing how we understand motion. E equals mc squared, the most famous equation in history, revealing the relationship between energy and mass. At first, his theories were met with skepticism. How could a mere patent clerk overturn centuries of accepted science? But slowly, his genius was recognized. By 1909, he was offered a professorship. He had transcended rejection, self-doubt, and obscurity. His name was becoming synonymous with revolutionary thought. In 1915, Einstein published his greatest achievement, the general theory of relativity. It proposed that gravity isn't a force pulling objects together, but rather a warping of space and time. This was radical. It challenged Newton's long-accepted laws of motion. But the world remained unconvinced until 1919. That year, during a solar eclipse, scientists confirmed Einstein's prediction. Light from distant stars bent around the sun exactly as his equations suggested. Einstein had rewritten the laws of physics. Overnight, he became a global celebrity. Newspapers hailed him as the new Isaac Newton, and his fame spread far beyond the scientific community. He was invited to lecture across the world, from Europe to America to Japan. However, fame came with great burdens. In the 1920s and 1930s, rising anti-Semitic sentiments in Germany made Einstein a target. He was attacked by political extremists labeled as Jewish science, and even had a bounty placed on his head by the Nazi Party. When Hitler rose to power in 1933, Einstein fled to the United States, never to return. Settling in Princeton, New Jersey, he continued his scientific work, but also became a passionate advocate for peace, civil rights, and scientific freedom. He warned the world of the dangers of nuclear weapons, writing to President Roosevelt about the potential for an atomic bomb, an unintended consequence of his famous equation E equals mc squared. What made Einstein different? Was it just raw intelligence? No. Many of his habits shaped his success. Here is a few worthy of note. 1. Relentless curiosity. Einstein once said, "I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious." He never stopped asking questions, from childhood to his final days. His curiosity led him to rethink everything we thought we knew about space and time. 2. Deep work and reflection. Einstein was known for getting lost in thought for hours, sometimes even forgetting to eat. He valued solitude and deep focus, allowing his mind to make connections others couldn't see. 3. Rejection of conventional thinking. Einstein didn't just accept authority, he challenged it. From questioning his school teachers to overturning Newtonian physics, he believed progress came from breaking the mold, not following it. These habits aren't just for scientists. They are a blueprint for anyone striving for greatness. Albert Einstein passed away in 1955, but his legacy lives on. His theories still guide modern physics, his image represents intellectual brilliance, and his insights on life and curiosity continue to inspire. Perhaps his greatest lesson was this: imagination is more important than knowledge. Because knowledge is limited, but imagination has no boundaries. What part of Einstein's story inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories of legendary figures.